think it's frustrating because we'd worked on it all week. We'd given the players as much information on how Fleetwood were going to play, and to concede the goal we did was very poor, I think. And after that, we knew that Fleetwood were going to go back in and sit in their shape and make it difficult and try and hit us in the break. And I think we gifted Fleetwood 3 points today, because I think if we'd have dealt with the cross, which 2 or 3 players could have dealt with before it got to Madden at the back post, then even if we'd have took a point to it, it would have been a massive point in the right direction.
Because there were very little between both sides for 90 minutes, and it was just a one lapse in concentration that's cost us in the end, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it was the only shot they had in target in the whole game, and but since we had 4 or 5 half decent chances, first half and second half, to score, I think we wanted to take one of them, and we'd have took a point because we knew it was going to be difficult. We'd spoke about the importance of Wycombe, how they would play, and Fleetwood were very similar, but we were better players, and that's what disappoints me, that we concede a very poor goal, and then after that it becomes a bit edgy. Players become a wee bit edgy, and so do the fans. But these are games where we have to take a bit more responsibility, and I still think that today was frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating for every Bradford fan, as it was for me, the players and my staff.
I guess earlier in the season, if we'd lost 1-0 to Fleetwood, it might have been overlooked as a bad day at the office, but because the pressure's on where we are in the league position, do you think that just adds that little bit more, maybe to the players? You see their reaction as well?
Yeah, I think everybody is, but as I say, we have to remain positive. This is going to be the same between now and May, and every home game we play in now, a lot of teams are going to come and probably do the same stuff, because they know that if the fans start to get on the teams back, and maybe the players and can't handle a wee bit of criticism, then we have to make sure that we try and make sure that the game stays 0-0 as long as we can, because we do have players in the team that will create stuff. But when you give teams after 9 minutes, and Fleetwood just came and managed the game, they came and managed 85 minutes of it and slowed the game down, put the ball out of play, everything they've done, they took their time, and as I say, but you've got to give them credit. They've came here, they've into 2 banks of 4, and their strikers dropped in and made it very difficult for us.
It's fine margins. There were probably 2 or 3 clear chances to get a goal.
Yeah.
Just so very close, but yet so far in that respect.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've had chances, but I just think we have to relax. I think when you're playing the game and it's so frustrating, the tempo drops, the atmosphere at the stadium drops, and then when you do get chances, everybody seems to snatch at them. So I just think we have to get back to that composure, get back to where we were late November, early December, and that comes from players starting to believe in it, and we have to make sure that the tempo in games go up, because that's what keeps the Bradford fans happy. It's what keeps me happy. But today it was a frustrating game on how Fleetwood managed it.
On a positive note, results elsewhere mean it hasn't made a great deal of difference in terms of the league table. It does put a little bit more emphasis on next week though, doesn't it, against Plymouth?
Yeah, of course it does. Every game does. But as you say, we'd have took a point today, we'd have been at the bottom 4. So these are things where I've explained to players that the longer the game goes 0-0, we have really good players who can get you something out of a game, but we have to defend. We can't let teams come, score a goal, and then have what Fleetwood done to us today. But as you say, table's still tight. We have to remain positive, and I'm hoping that all the Bradford fans see today and hope that we can keep going, because it affects every one of us, and we need to make sure that we push away, and I want to make sure that everybody at this club makes sure we're still a League One club.
And just in terms of personnel, good to see Jacob Butterfield do 90 minutes today, and obviously good to get Billy Clark out there as well. Both seem to add something. Yeah,
I thought Jacob done really well for his first game for a while. You can see he's got quality, he's got 2 great feet. The shot he's had with his left foot can get you back in the game. That's a quality to have, and it's fantastic. Billy Clark's come on, and I thought Billy added a wee bit more quality, but a wee bit more taking the ball in tight areas. He's a fantastic free kick in for Nat's header. Either side, you're one each and you're back in the game. So both of them have got quality. Both of them might not have played a lot of football, but it's important we look after them and get them up to speed, and we make sure that everybody remains positive, especially players who aren't playing.
Potentially with Kelvin Miller and Callum Woods back next week, you're going to have a real selection headache on your hands, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it's good. That's what we always looked and strive for. And you say we can get Callum and Kelvin back training on Monday, then they'll definitely be in contention for next week. And we have to make sure that we're strong. We have to make sure everything we do is in the right direction. And even young Poddy, who's missed out today because of the loan situation, he'll be in my thoughts for next week and all, because he's been fantastic. I spoke to him at length yesterday, and he understands the situation, but he's desperate to play for the club. So we need to make sure that everybody's focused and we get a right good week's training, and the squad of players that we do have with competition for places next week against Plymouth.